Good morning, boys and girls. Today is Friday, April the 24th, 2026. We are on day 12 of our life cycle of a chicken unit. We have 9 days left. Let's review the slides that we've had so far. On day 1, you guys learned what an incubator is, a chicken, eggs, and this is what the embryo looked like. On day 2, you learned that a hen is a female chicken, a rooster is a male chicken. We learned the verb observe. On day 3, we talked about how the word embryo means the earliest stages of development in an animal, and we learned the verb rotate. This is what it looked like on the inside. On day 4, we learned about how the chicken makes her nest, where she lays. We are learning the word life cycle all throughout kindergarten. We've looked at several life cycles. And on day 4, the tongue began to form. On day 5, we learned a verb, roost, and we learned a noun, clutch. A clutch of eggs is what you call it before they hatch. What do you call it after they hatch? A brood. A brood is a group of newly hatched chicks. And then a brooder is the place where we keep them. On day 7, we talked about that air sac at the top, blunt end of the egg, curved, rounded end of the egg is where the air sac is. On day 8, we learned the beak and we learned the shell. We talked about all the insides of the shell and the feathers began to form. On day 9, we talked about how he uses his egg tooth to get out of the shell and the mouth opening begins to appear. We could actually see that as we candled eggs. We could see the beak open and shut. On day 10, we talked about hatching and that whole process of getting out. The beak begins to harden. On day 11, the beak continues to harden, and we learned a new word for female chickens before they are an adult. This was yesterday. A pullet is a female chicken that is less than 6 months old. When they're 6 months old and about this size is when they are a full-grown adult and start laying, and they start that process, that life cycle process all over again. Today is day 12. Let's look. This is looking like a bird, isn't it? A almost full-grown bird. I can't believe how fast they're growing. On day 12, the toes are now fully formed. Down feathers are visible. When you talk about a chicken, they have several different kinds of feathers. Down feathers are the cute little fluffy ones that come up first, and they're actually underneath the regular feathers that come, and as they grow they get other kind of feathers. So the contour feathers are the feathers that cover their whole body. We have tail feathers, flight feathers, primary feathers, secondary feathers. We're going to be learning about several of those, but today our word is down. Those are the down feathers, soft yellow feathers or white on baby chicks, right? So when they stay in the incubator after they work their way out, they'll stay in there and dry out for about a whole day. Their stomach is full. Remember, we've talked about that. They sucked up the yolk that was inside the egg. So their stomach is full enough to stay in the incubator for 24 hours before they have to be fed. And while they're doing that, all those wet feathers, remember what he looked like when he was hatching? Let's go back. Remember that? That's what they look like when they first come out. They have to have plenty of time to dry. And when they dry, they poof up, poof. And then when we take them out of the incubator, we have to put them someplace that's still very warm. So in our brooder box, we keep a heat lamp on in there that's going to keep the temperature between 96 and 100 degrees. Okay, the last thing we're going to do today is to look at candling. We won't be able to do this very much longer because you can't see. The egg, the embryo grows so much and becomes so dark in there, the area does, that you can't really see. So I'm going to turn it on and see how much we're able to see today. Let me turn off some of these lamps real quick. This dark area, see that dark area is going to start covering the whole entire egg. So right now we have this light area still left, but do you see how it's slowly taking over? That brown, that dark area is slowly taking over. Pretty soon it will be all black. We won't be able to see anything in here. There's our beautiful air sac down at the bottom. You guys know what you're looking for now. You could explain it to someone else, couldn't you? We're looking for blood vessels. The black dot is his eye, And the bigger he gets, the harder those things are to see because it starts to close up. All right, let's look at another one. The lighter colored ones are usually easier to see through. There we go. Okay. Let's take a look and see if we can see any movement on this one. All right. Definitely moving in there, yeah. Blood vessels, look at that. Lots of movement. He's going to show out for us this morning. How exciting. Look at all that movement. Wow. Healthy little baby chicken inside there. Who's taking care of these things when they hatch? You guys better get ready. All right, today is day 12. We have 9 days left. How exciting.